Hello, and welcome back for another adventure in the cookie jar. Today we're doing the third recipe from the Blackberry Pie Murder. It is called Chip Hooray cookies. It does seem like a throw together cookie recipe, however, it is in a larger quantity than we've been doing in the recent recipes. To start off, you're going to want 1.5 cups of softened butter, that's 3 sticks, 1 1/4 cup of white sugar, 2 large egg yolks, half a teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 cups finely crushed plain regular potato chips. It has a note on that saying use regular potato chips, the thin salty ones. Don't use baked chips or ripple chips or chips with the peels on or kettle fried or flavored or anything that's supposed to be better for you than those wonderfully greasy, salty, old-fashioned crunchy potato chips. And then it just says to throw them in a Ziploc bag and crush them and then measure out your 1.5 cups. 3/4 cup of white chocolate chips and 3/4 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips, and then 1/3 cup of sugar for dipping them. It also has a note from Lisa. I made these for the 4th of July picnic at Eden Lake and rolled them in a combination of red, white, and blue sugar. I did notice McCormick came out with a 4th of July line, like one was an apple pie and one was like red, white, and blue sprinkles that was a berry mix. I kind of wish I had grabbed it for this because 4th of July is right around the corner. It's not the next holiday, but it's like a month away, but whatever. It's just a regular mix all your stuff, scoop them out. And you're going to take a glass, dip. It says to spray the bottom with Pam, but I think I'm just going to dip mine in water and then the sugar and then push them down. I just think that works better than spraying them for some reason. It does say you're going to want ungreased cookie sheets. I'm just going to use my silicone mats. It's what works best for me, I found. It does say you can use parchment paper. Then flatten them with a glass dipped in sugar. Bake them for 12 minutes and then let them cool. It says you should get approximately 6 to 7 dozen crunchy shortbread-like cookies depending on cookie size. You are baking these at 350 if I forgot to say that. Everything's laid out. Let's get started. Is everything we're going to be using for this. Okay, so this recipe is a little different in the essence that you're getting all of the butter, the sugar, the egg yolks, the salt, and the vanilla. You're going to put pretty much all the first half of your ingredients in right away and mix those together. So let's get to that. So the butter, the sugar, the egg yolks, just plop them on in, the salt, and the vanilla. We're just going to beat all of that until it's nicely combined. Next thing we're doing is mixing our flour in 1/2 cup increments. Last thing we're adding with the mixer is the potato chips. Now we're going to do the chocolate chips by hand, and then we're ready to start scooping. So now we have the semi-sweet and the white. And we just give those a quick mix. Right, we got our 6 trays. We have our cookie dough. No, I have a cup, I have sugar, and I have water. So I'm just going to dip the cup into the sugar. Maybe that's, I don't know, but why you can't just roll them in sugar? I feel like that would be so much easier. But, alright, we're just going to do the rest and we'll see how many we actually get. I am done scooping them out and flattening them with sugar. We got 5.5 dozen plus 1, so really close to their estimated 6. Now we're just going to bake them. Here are all of the cookies. Definitely a lot. They are definitely light and airy, almost like a potato chip themselves. They're light and airy, they're buttery, they're sweet, they're crispy, they're crunchy. Chip chip hooray, these cookies are awesome. They're definitely going to be gone very quickly. I was not expecting them to spread out so much, but it is what it is. Not a big deal. They are truly delicious though. I'll probably go sit down and eat 4 more. Yeah, about overall 10 out of 10 for these ones. They were quick. I will say that. I don't feel like this from start to finish took me more than an hour and a half at all. And that's everything all together. I will say next week we are making something called Grandma's Buttermilk Pie. I had never heard of a buttermilk pie before. I kind of wonder if it's like a custard situation. If you're interested in that, join us next week. Other than that, I hope you all have a good one. Bye, guys.